You know that debate you always have after a movie? The one about whether it was too long, too short, or maybe, just maybe, perfect? Well, today, we're going to try and settle it. We're diving into what the data really says about the perfect movie runtime. You might be surprised.
So let's just ask it straight up. What is the perfect length for a movie? Is it a quick, snappy 90 minutes, a classic 2 hours, or are you here for the 3-hour epic? Everybody's got an opinion, right? But what happens when you actually ask thousands of people to put a number on it?
Well, according to one big survey, the answer is 92 minutes. Yep, that's it. Not 90, not 100, a super specific 92. To put that in perspective, that's about the length of a soccer game. Kind of feels short, doesn't it?
So where in the world did this magic number come from? Let's dig into this idea of a 92-minute sweet spot.
Okay, so a company called Talker Research went out and asked 2,000 Americans this exact question. And you know what? The result was shockingly clear. When they averaged it all out, they landed on that very specific 92-minute mark. It really seems like, as an audience, we're telling Hollywood we want shorter, tighter stories.
And the preference here is it's overwhelming. A massive 83% of the people they asked said they want their movies to be under 2 hours. Only about 15% are up for something longer, and just a tiny 2%, maybe the hardcore movie buffs, are asking for those epics that go over 2.5 hours. The message seems pretty simple. Get in, tell the story, and get out.
And if you're trying to picture what a 92-minute movie feels like, just think of these classics. Dodgeball, Kung Fu Panda, Toy Story 2. All of them hit that sweet spot. They're all killer, no filler. They tell a fantastic story, and they don't overstay their welcome. It's a formula that just works.
All right, so case closed, right? We all want 92-minute movies. Well, not so fast, because when you stop looking at what people say they want and you start looking at what they actually spend their money on, a completely different picture starts to form.
Just look at the trend over the last few decades. Back in 1981, the average runtime for a top movie was around 110 minutes. Okay, that's reasonable. But fast forward to 2022, and that number has exploded to 141 minutes. That's a full half-hour longer. So while we're all saying we want shorter films, the blockbusters we actually line up for are getting longer and longer.
And this is where it gets really wild. Take a look at the top 10 highest-grossing movies of all time. 9 of them, 9, are over 2 hours long. You've got giants like Avatar and Avengers Endgame that are pushing 3 hours. The only one under 2 hours is The Lion King. The money is telling a completely opposite story from the surveys.
So what is going on? We've got this huge paradox. We say we want short, but we pay for long. How do we square that circle? Well, it seems like the real answer has less to do with the clock and more to do with something else entirely.
And that brings us right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Do we want short movies or long movies? Do we secretly love these marathon-length films, or are we just putting up with them to see the big spectacle? The truth, as it usually is probably somewhere in the middle.
Because it all seems to come down to how we experience time. Think about it. A brilliant 3-hour movie like Oppenheimer or Lord of the Rings can just fly by because you're totally lost in it. But on the other hand, a really boring 90-minute film can feel like it lasts forever. You're just checking your watch the whole time.
And really, it all boils down to this one simple quote. There are really long films that feel much shorter, and there are shorter movies that you wish would just end fast. It's not about the runtime, it's about how engaged you are. If the story is amazing, we'll happily sit there for 3 hours.
So maybe the perfect runtime isn't a number at all. Maybe the perfect runtime is just as long as the story needs and not 1 second more. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's the last long movie you saw that actually felt short? The answer to that might be the only data point that truly matters. Thanks for watching.